Welcome to the introductory training video on the new STS database developed by IQVIA. The learning objectives for this video include a project overview, initial preparation, login including setup and maintenance, role-based access, challenge questions, general navigation including uploader and DQR, notifications, operational reports that include dashboards and missing variable reports, library, and my account. STS and IQVIA have worked together to bring the STS membership a product that offers 24/7 cloud-based platform that allows for continuous data harvest and data cleaning and decreased time spent on data submission, interactive dashboard reporting with a drill down into cases with the ability to see risk factors and outcomes, real-time data access, and longitudinal benchmarked outcomes, user-friendly data quality reports with real-time feedback on data quality, and a drill down to see where data can be improved. There'll be an option for web-based data entry coming July 2020 with no additional fee to sites, data cleanup that happens at the time of case entry, and reduced data burden. These components will ensure an increase in integrity and security of data. They'll be delivered in phased releases which will incorporate surgeon and data manager feedback utilizing modern responsive development methodology. And they'll offer role-based access starting with 3 roles that can be refined over time. Now, initial preparation is going to be very important to ensure a smooth go-live. And part of that preparation will be receiving your username and temporary password in 2 separate emails. They will be sent from ststechsupport@iqvia.com. And you must have both of these in order to log in. So what happens if you don't receive one or both of these emails? Well, the first step will be for you to check your junk or spam folder. If you still don't see those emails, then send an email over to stsdb@sts.org. It may be necessary to solicit the assistance of your IT department to create or add to your whitelist. This is to ensure that any blocking program, such as a spam filter, will allow email from a specific email address or domain to be delivered. You also need to be aware of password requirements, so we're going to review those right now. IQVIA has a password policy. It's very similar to password policies that you've encountered in the past, setting up a new password for any product or online web product. The password must comply with any 3 of the below attributes, and it must be at least 8 characters long. So you have to have at least 1 uppercase alphabetic character, 1 lowercase character, at least 1 numeric character, and at least 1 symbol. Symbols are things like an exclamation point, a question mark, a $sign, etc. Your password must not contain your current username, first name, last name, or any 4 consecutive characters contained within. The second part of the password policy has to do with passwords going forward. It should not match any of the previous 6 passwords, and this will count for 6 of the passwords, but it will not include your first temporary password. It cannot contain any of the commonly used, expected, or compromised passwords, and those are going to be things like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or the word password. The passwords will expire 90 days after being set, and so please consider these guidelines whenever you're logging in. If you're unable to log in, then it may very well have been 90 days since your initial setup of your password. Not every password will be stored in an encrypted state, so keep in mind that not even the staff at IQVIA will be able to recover your password. And I'll show you in just a few moments where you have a forget password option, so you'll be able to go in and utilize that. And I'll also discuss the challenge questions with you that you'll need to have set up to help you with that forgot password. Although it's not mandatory or an attribute, a password can contain passphrases or white spaces. A white space is simply hitting the space bar to add a space in your password. And here are some examples. And also keep in mind that IQVIA will update that commonly used, expected, or compromised passwords list several times per year. So if you were able to use a password previously, say 10 passwords ago, you may not be able to use it again because it may have been added to that list since you were able to use it previously. All right, so the other thing you need to keep in mind are the supported browsers. A browser is what you use to access the internet. So if you're using Internet Explorer or Chrome, etc., to be able to get to Google, then that's your browser. So here's a list of the supported browsers and the version number. So that's the other important thing. If you don't know how to check the version number on your browser, then talk to your IT professional and they should be able to help you to find out what version number you're using. If you find out that that version is out of date with what the expected or supported browsers are here, then also consult your IT professional on getting that updated. You don't want to, the day of go live, find out that your browser is not up to date with what's supported and then have a delay in being able to use the new IQVIA Registry dashboard product. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through with you what the initial setup process is here in the slide deck, and then we're going to go into the live product. So what you're going to look at initially is you're going to have this login screen. And one quick note is that I'm going to be showing you screenshots in the environment in a test environment. So if you see a few things that are slightly different whenever you go to log into the live environment, don't be alarmed. It's just because I'm in a test environment, so things like the logo may be updated or some colors or a few icons may be slightly different, but don't be alarmed. So just wanted to mention that. Okay, so this is where you're going to go to sign into your account. You're going to enter your username, and your temporary password is going to go in here. So those are the two things that I just mentioned are going to be sent to you in an email. And here's that forgot password. So if you forgot your password, you're going to click here for forgot password. The other thing that's really useful here is this need help. So if you need any assistance in logging in, then you can click on need help. Now I'm going to show you what you're going to get whenever you click on need help. Click on need help. This is going to open for you in a separate tab. So this is really useful for several things. The first of which is that up here at the top you have the tech support information for IQVIA. And IQVIA is always going to be your first stop to get help. So you have an email address. You can email tech support at IQVIA, or you can call. There's the phone number. So that's really useful. You can go in and you can call them. There's also some little hints and tips here for your username and password. Is your caps lock on? Did you enter the letter O instead of the number 0, for example? So these are some good little hints and tips if you're blocked in being able to log in. There's also some advanced troubleshooting down at the bottom, and you'll note that some of these may not be really geared toward a typical data manager or a clinical user. They may be more geared toward your IT staff, things like your cipher strength, making sure that your cipher strength is sufficient. It should be at least 128 bits to access the system. So those things are more geared towards your IT staff. So if you see things like that, you will always have the ability to right-click in the white space. And I'll show you this once we get into the product. But you can right-click in the white space and you can print. So printing will be good for two things. One is you could print this page out. You can keep it on your desk so you always have the tech support information handy. But you can also right-click, print, and hand it to your IT professional so they will have this information if you're having some difficulty with logging in. All right, so once you enter your username and your temporary password, this will be the next screen you will see. So the current password is going to be your temporary password, and then you're going to enter your new password and then enter it again. So over here on the right-hand side, this is all of the information that we just went over in that IQVIA password policy. So just because I went over it with you once in training doesn't mean that's the only time you're going to see it again. You have all that information right here, so it's all right there at your fingertips. So you'll get all the information and make sure that your password meets the policy. You can enter that new password, enter it again, and click Submit Change. So once you've done that, your password has been changed. The next thing that you will see will be the licensing agreement. You're going to get one agreement for every database that you have that you will be able to access. So each one you've given permission to access. So you would get one for adult, one for general thoracic, and one for congenital. So this is what the agreement looks like, and you'll scroll down to the bottom of the agreement, and you're going to need to, went past it, and you're going to need to click Agree. Okay? If you don't click Agree, then you will not be able to access the dashboard. Okay, so keep that in mind. This is a legal agreement. It's the same kind of agreement that you get anytime you log on to a web page or access new software. It's the same type of an agreement. Like I said, you're going to get one for every one of the dashboards. So when you click Agree and another one pops up, don't get frustrated. You're going to get one per dashboard. All right. So the next thing that you'll get whenever you log in as a new user, you're going to get this pop up. It says Setup Challenge Questions. Okay. So the challenge questions, you've seen these anytime you set up a new a new account for, a credit card, a bank, for anything really that's web-based that needs any extra security, you're going to set up challenge questions. When you first log in, you'll have the option to set them up or skip for now. I really recommend that you go ahead and set them up, because if you don't, it's going to slip your mind. And setting up those challenge questions, if you forget your password, you're going to need those challenge questions to be able to get in. So I'll show you what those challenge questions look like. So they're going to be similar, like I said, to what you've seen in the past, and you'll be able to choose which questions you want. So you have a list of pretty standard challenge questions. Was the first and last name of your first boyfriend or girlfriend? You have quite an extensive list here. You'll choose the question you want, you'll type in the answer, and you have 2 challenge questions here. So they're really quick and straightforward to do. You'll add both of your challenge questions and click Save. Until you do, you'll see over here on the left-hand side that you're going to have this red dot next to My Account. That's going to be your visual cue that you've not yet done your challenge questions. So if you decide to skip for now, you're going to have that red dot to remind you your challenge questions have not been complete. Okay, so again, I recommend you go ahead and do those challenge questions as soon as you get in there, but if you don't, you're going to have that red dot. Okay. So I'm going to come back to the support and learning opportunities after we go into the live application. So I'm going to log in, and I will we'll get into the application live. Okay, so here we are in the live application. We've logged into the dashboard, and I've chosen to be in the Adult Cardiac Surgery Database in Chapman Memorial Hospital, and I will show you exactly how I know where I am. We'll start on the upper left-hand side. I'm logged in as Pamela Chapman. I'm currently viewing the Adult Cardiac Surgery Database in Chapman Memorial Hospital, and this is the ID number for that facility or participant. Okay, I can also see my facility details here. Here's the name of the facility, the ID, the city, and state, and the file type is always going to be case form. If you click on this drop-down, that's the only option I have. You can also see that same information in the top right-hand corner, the database and the facility. All right. If I want to change facilities, all I have to do are databases. Click on Switch Current View. It's going to give me a list of all the databases that I have access to and all the facilities under each of those databases. So if I want to change to congenital, I could click here, general thoracic, but I'm going to just click under adult cardiac. I'm going to click on my test facility here. All right, so now I've changed. You'll see a test facility over here in the middle and in the upper right-hand corner. So I can see all kinds of places where I am. All right, so, and one other thing to note, as I mentioned previously, we have different role-based access. And so what I'm looking at here is a user that has access to everything in the dashboard. So if I were just a surgeon reviewer, for example, then my dashboard is going to look slightly different because my surgeon reviewer is not going to have access to the uploader, for example, because my surgeon doesn't need to upload files for cases. So do keep that in mind that your screen, again, may look a little bit different depending on what user you are. So don't be alarmed. Just know that your access is going to be perfect for whatever role you have in your clinic. Okay, so the first thing that's going to default is the upload screen, and I'm going to be going from the top down over here on the left-hand side. In the upload section, this is where you're going to upload files and where you could access your DQR, your data quality report. In this training session, we are not going to go into detail on the upload process or reviewing the DQR, but I am going to just give you a quick orientation to this page. So as I scroll down, this is where you will upload files in this section right here. Down here at the bottom is where you'll view files that have been previously uploaded. And to access your DQR, you would click on View Reports. But again, we're not going to go through all the details. To get all the information, to get full training on this section, you will need to go to the Uploader and DQR training video, and you'll get full information on all the details on how to upload files. Okay, the next section over here on the left-hand side is notifications. I'm going to click on that. So we don't have any notifications currently. Notifications is a section where STS or IQVIA could post information for you about things that are non-urgent, non-emergent. So things like on Saturday night at midnight Eastern time, we're going to have an update, and here's what it's going to contain. Things like that. That's what we're going to post in notifications. If there's a notification or multiple notifications, you're going to get a number over here on the left-hand side to tell you how many notifications are available. You will not receive an email in your regular email box telling you that there are notifications. The notifications only exist here in the dashboard. And that's because, again, they are not urgent. They're things for you to see when you come to the dashboard, the things that are only pertinent to the dashboard. So keep that in mind. These notifications, again, only pertinent to the dashboard. You will not get a notification elsewhere. The next thing over on the left-hand side, we're going to go into our analytics section, and I'm going to go to operational reports. So again, this is a test environment, so I have my missing variable report. Later, whenever we go live, you will also have your dashboard report in here. So I'm in an adult database, so I would have an adult dashboard report here as well. So the missing variable report, both the missing variable and the dashboard report, those will be in separate training videos as well, so you can get a deep dive into exactly what those reports are. But as just kind of a general overview, the missing variable report is exactly what it sounds like. It's a report that gives you a list of every one of the cases that has missing variables. So if you have cases that are missing the gender, for example, or cases that are missing any other piece of information, the date of birth or anything like that, then it'll give you a list of all the cases that are missing each one of those variables, and you can view those cases so you can go back to your source and add that information. The dashboard gives you a list of all of your cases. You can filter those cases, and you can compare those cases to other STS participants. And you can also see things that are missing, but it doesn't work the same way as the missing variable. You can see missing based on case instead of all the missing variables and then view the cases. So it kind of works a little bit differently, but different ways to slice and dice your data. So going to the resources section, the first section here is the library. Over time, you're going to see more and more resources in your library. These are going to be hyperlinks back to the STS website, so that we have one single source of truth. But you'll click on those hyperlinks. They'll take you back to the STS website directly to whatever those individual videos are, or documents are, or sections are. And these are going to be things like the training video that you're listening to right now. So all the training videos will be here in the library, and any other resources that STS and IQVIA feel would be useful to you for this dashboard over time. So you'll see, again, that resource list will be growing as the days, weeks, months, and years go by. The next item we see over here on the left-hand side is the risk calculator, and I clicked on it, and it took you directly to the STS website. And this is what those other things in the library will do as well. This risk calculator is only for the adult database users, so keep that in mind. But this is a really good example, again, of what the library will do as well. It will take you directly to the STS website. So I'm going to go back over here. Excuse me. All right, so the risk calculator takes you directly over to the risk calculator in STS, and like I said, the library items will do the same thing. So last section here is account. So if I go to my account, we looked at in the slide deck those challenge questions, so I'm going to click on them so you can see them live here. So here are some of those challenge questions, and I can change my challenge questions at any point in time. So if I want to go in here and change it from my favorite movie to my mother's maiden name, let's say my mother's maiden name is not Star Wars, it's Smith. So I can change that. And I want to not do what city I was born in. I want to do the name of my first school. So I'm going to go in here and say it was Jefferson. Okay, so if I want to go change those two things and click Save, then it will update my challenge questions. Okay, so if I go back in here, my account, look at my challenge questions, then I'll see that those have been updated. Now, the other item in my account is change password. So at any point in time, if you want to go in here and change your password, you see this looks exactly like it did when I set it up for the first time. So I would put in my current password, put in my new password, and re-enter my new password and hit Submit Change, and I can change my password at any point in time. So this gives you the ability to go in and change your password on the fly. The very last item over here is log out. I'm not going to do that quite yet, but you can log out from here. Simple as clicking on the button. What I'm going to do, though, I'm going to go back up here to upload quickly, and I just want to kind of I want to reiterate the things that we went over here, just kind of as a quick overview. So the first thing that we looked at were the multiple places that I can tell what database I'm in and what facility or participant I'm looking at. So we have it in the upper left-hand corner. We have the user that we're logged in as, the database, and the facility. We have it here in the middle, the facility, and also in the upper right-hand corner, the database and the facility. If I want to change facilities, I click on Switch Current View, and I could select a different facility. So we'll go back to Chapman Memorial. Okay, so we can change views very easily. On the uploader, I can upload files. I can also view files that were uploaded previously, and there's some filtering in here as well that will be covered again in that uploader DQR training video. Notifications will will convey any information that STS or IQVIA wants me to be aware of when I'm in the dashboard. I'll get a number of here that will indicate any notifications that are available for me. Operational reports will be the missing variable report and the dashboard report for whatever database that I'm in. So I'll be able to view those for operational reports. The library will be a list of resources that will be hyperlinks back to the STS website. Risk calculator will take me to the risk calculator on the STS website, but it's only available for the adult database. And then my account will show me the challenge questions that I can update at any time and change password that, again, I can access and update at any time as well. Okay, so I'm not going to log out. I'm going to simply go back over here to my slide deck. And the last thing that we want to cover here are support and learning opportunities. So who do I contact for support or questions? If you have questions regarding the transition over to the new database and the new dashboard, then you can contact STS at stsdb@sts.org. If you have any questions post-go live about support, if you have any questions about how the dashboard works, or if you have any issues with login, etc., then those will be addressed through IQVIA. And the email address, and again, you can access that through the Need Help option at login, but the email address is ststechsupport@iqvia.com, and the phone number 1-833-256-7187. So how do I learn more? STS will have upcoming webinars. You can register for them at the link here, or you can look at previous webinars. We've been doing training webinars for a few months now, so go back and look at those previous webinars. There are great FAQs out there on the webinars. We're updating FAQs on an ongoing basis, so go and look at the FAQs. And also visit sts.org. There'll be opportunities at things like AQO in the fall, all kinds of learning opportunities. So thank you so much for visiting us today in this training session, and there will be other training opportunities for you, training videos. There will be a specific training video for Uploader and DQR, one for Missing Variable Report, and another for the dashboard. So make sure that you watch those. Thank you for joining us here first, though, for the general navigation. This is definitely the foundation for the other trainings, and I hope that you enjoy the new IQVIA Registry dashboard, and have a wonderful day.